Another request. Here we go. Money, you get it back. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stack. It's kind of hard to sing and play that. Not gonna lie, it was a bit of a late night. Yesterday's episode was the longest episode in M3 is 3D history by probably like 10 minutes at least. The comments are rolling in. I want to thank everybody who gave their feedback. It was a big day for all of us, and now we're going to have a big, actually not that big, morning roundup. This printer is back in action with a David. This guy cranking out a sharp. This fella here, I tried tons of things to get it to not print very, very weirdly, and it is. So I think we're just doing an entire hot end ectomy. Here we got that froggy dish. Man, maybe that's left over from yesterday. I don't know. And they're cranking out more of the cookie cutters. It's finally time to do something about this one. Gotta say, using these aftermarket bed heaters is making me way more nervous than I had been, let's say. So I may start retrofitting these before they burn down the house. And we've got Big Shark. And we've got a D20. This is the one that's gonna go to the customers whose D20 literally had a meltdown. And another Sharky. Let's get some things shipped off. Very nice. Blue David. You know what? I just realized I don't have a Blue David listed. So we can take a couple minutes, take a couple photos. I dress like somebody who's just heard of clothes. And it's time to ship the leash holders. Very cool. Okay, so this is interesting. I asked AI if there's some kind of device that you plug into an outlet. Oh man, they're doing a remodel on a building over here, I didn't notice. A device that you plug into an outlet and you can plug something into that device and it will cut off power to that thing you plugged in based on a temperature reading. And actually, that totally does exist, and they're inexpensive, at least what ChatGPT told me. I think we're gonna get a few of them. Basically what we'll do is we'll use them, and then it probably has like a thermistor or a probe or whatever. We will somehow put it like in between the bed heater and the actual carriage, and hopefully that'll work. We could always test it with a lighter, you know, like put the probe underneath or above a lighter and see if it actually shuts it off. But I'm kind of glad that exists, because then we don't have to replace all our bed heaters, probably. See, the real value of ChatGPT is stuff like that, where I wouldn't exactly know what to Google to find that, but if you have something that can kind of understand what you're describing, you know, a lot of things just become possible. People use ChatGPT for all kinds of stupid things, but there are some really like useful use cases. All right, it's been a while. We're going to Los Potosinas. It's been too long. We're getting the good stuff today. F it. We're getting an Avo. I always let myself get a couple of these. It's like the monster from Star Trek. That's the way to do it, son. We got stuff for sopes. We've got stuff for tostadas. We've already got tortillas for tacos, obviously. It's time we cook at home a little more. Also, I saw Jerry the Taco Man in there. We fist bumped. Maybe that's where he gets his meat from. Maybe that's why his meat is so good. Kind of random, but I bet there's like a corner of YouTube that's nothing but like informational videos and stuff for people that want to start food trucks. It'd be cool if somebody did a daily series like I do, but they own a food truck. I feel like that would be kind of interesting, you know? Like they go over how much they sold, what kind of things are on the menu, how you make things, what they do to advertise. That would be like a pretty fascinating thing to know about. The lady that we went to get coffee from yesterday that had the coffee trailer, it's not even really a truck, she's parked down the street. I guess she tried a different location, but it just made me think, like, what is her daily experience life like? You know, like what is that business like to run? I kind of wish somebody would, maybe somebody does have that series, I just haven't looked. I think that truck next to me was playing the Rocky IV soundtrack. We've got the Rocky IV soundtrack on cassette, as you remember. Next time I go to the taco shop, Jerry, the taco man, is just gonna be like, so you just eat Mexican food all the time, right? I kind of love the weekends, even though I pretty much don't do anything super different. Just not having to ship things. I mean, technically we gotta package some stuff for pickup from the post office tomorrow, but that's pretty easy. Just not having to like take a trip and ship things is kind of nice. Today, our special project is we're just gonna get as many big printers working as possible. Like, it's getting crazy. We've got 3 printers that were working that don't work anymore. The one that's just super squirrely, we're giving up on that. But we still got 2 that we need to get in the game, and it's time. Plus, we will try to get the new one with the piece of glass that's too long. We'll try to get that working. Man, just look at that. That is what good taco meat looks like right there. This cheese, or really any cheese that looks like that from a Mexican supermarket, that's what you want on your tacos, bro. And we got some traditional verde salsa. I've never had their version of, this is probably tomatillo if I had to guess. Never had their version of it, but I mean, that looks like the real stuff right there. We got the sopes amarillo. Just really fun. I think of these as like those strawberry shortcake things, except you put meat and stuff in it. I'm looking at one of those things and it says it has a fun button. What is that about? I read reviews. Apparently this is probably a pretty good one. And it's 20 bucks. There was one review that said this thing stopped working. They were heating their reptile room. Like they had an entire room full of lizards and snakes and stuff, which sort of equal parts cool and scary. But they used, a lot of people use these heater controls for space heaters. Like they're trying to heat a space, but they don't want to heat it too much. That's kind of what this person was doing with this reptile room. And he said it stopped working. But here's the thing. It's quite unlikely for one of these controllers to do what it did. I've had like half a dozen of them, or almost that much, and operated some of them for years, and only one of them did it. So it's not very likely that the temperature controller fails, and it's not very likely that this thing fails. They would both have to fail like at the same time, basically, in order to have a maybe fire hazard. So I think if we just use this temperature controller with the bed heaters, the chances of something really bad happening is going to be minimal. There's a bunch of these online. I had to look at a bunch. This also will work for cooling, like if you're trying to get a room or something to be a certain temperature low and then you want it to shut off once it gets there, it'll do that as well. I guess it's got different modes. The other thing that's nice is it's got a crazy max wattage. You know, obviously the bed heaters aren't even close to 1800 watts, so we know it can handle it. Also, something that's kind of funny is this capsule. It almost looks like it uses the same kind of plug you would have on a 3D printer. Wow, here's a thing I've never read before. Yikes. Alright, it's acting normal now. That was a weird one. I think the game plan, we're gonna try out one of those outlets, kind of just make sure it works, because you never know. But if it works, we're gonna start equipping all of the printers with the aftermarket bed heaters with those temperature controllers, because that was scary as heck. That melted D20 was like something out of a late 80s Japanese anime. On this guy, we went ahead and put a new hot end on it. I mean, that's the first thing to try. I didn't really get the impression that this extruder is messing up. It feels pretty good. So we'll see what this does. All right, it seems to be working okay. I guess we'll just let this guy ride, but let's just believe this is working now. Well, we're gonna try to solve this puzzle. There's really very little that I actually think would be wrong with this, yet we are getting layer shifts. So I think what we're gonna do, maybe we'll make sure this isn't drooping anywhere. This is maybe slightly tight. It really ought to be fine, but we'll loosen it just a bit. We're gonna make sure the wheels are good. I've already turned it over and there's nothing catching. But maybe we will raise the bed up a little bit because there are signs of scraping here, which are strange because there's nothing that seems to be touching this, but all we can do is just raise the bed, so maybe there's something there. Also, this is very, very unlikely, but we didn't screw in all of these screws. I really doubt that makes a difference, but we'll put them in, because why not? We raised the bed up a little bit. Like I said, I couldn't feel anything scratching this, but that is definitely, I mean, that's not what extrusion looks like normally. You can definitely see some scratches here. So that's the best way I can think of to mitigate that. I guess last we're just gonna loosen this just a little bit. All right, that's like tight enough, but not too tight. I think that'll work. I'm feeling some of the pulley wheel things, and there's a little bit of looseness, so we are going to tighten those. Yeah, from this perspective, I really don't see anything that would be getting caught. These things, these knobs, you'll notice they're in line, so they're not gonna touch this. We've made sure that they're all this angle instead of that angle. That doesn't seem to be the problem. So I've been tightening these. Quite a few of them were fairly loose. I've never really seen layer shifts happen because these are loose, but it makes a kind of sense. So we're just fixing everything. We're doing the whole basket of problems, and hopefully this thing will start behaving. Well, we're firing this one up again. We really need more printers printing, and I think we're gonna print something that's sort of, you know, very small but tall, because this had this vertical problem here. That should be a good test. Let's do a little Z-axis test. I don't know why it didn't go beyond a certain level, but we'll see what it does here. Yeah, I don't know, it seems to be fine. Well, we got it printing. We actually did sell a drink, and so we're printing the straw for the drink. A nice vertical model that's basically just a pole. And I think that'll be a good enough test. If it doesn't screw up, I think we can say this is in the game now. This guy looks like he's doing good. No layer shifts, which it would have shifted by now before. So this seems like it's probably solved. This guy looks like he's being pretty normal. Seems like about right. And I think this D20 over here is probably fine. You gotta make sure the wheel is actually turning. Yeah. So far, so good. I think we're gonna take a segue. Looks like there's some kind of shindig coming on over here. Man, it's really nice out. Just perfect weather. Sometimes it is pretty remarkable to me how much harder big 3D printing is than small for a variety of reasons. It just makes sense that nobody does it. I mean, you guys have seen how much I work on the big 3D printers. The answer, a lot. Mechanically, an S5 is pretty much the same as the CR10, just bigger. So it really is like the size that seems to be the difference. You can look through this series and you can see how much I had to work on small 3D printers. It's very little. Look at how much I've worked on big 3D printers, sizable difference. Sometimes I question whether I even should have ever gotten into the big 3D printing game. It's like, sure, it differentiated me, but it is a pain. Like, man, I can't imagine having like 30 of these things. I guess the difference is at the point at which I had 30 big 3D printers, if I have to have that many, we would be making an unbelievable bag. Years ago, right here, I saw one of these big trees literally just fall over like that right in front of me. In fact, I think I got it on video a long time ago and I put it on Facebook. I got like just the very end of it where it went thud, because it was like doing this. It's like right after a storm. Then I got it right about while I was here. It's kind of an epic thing. During the pandemic, when I was at my fattest, I used to come down this little side street all the time because I was getting that Papa John's frequent lack. It was a little rough being that close to Papa John's and knowing that it's just a couple clicks away. Party, party, party. And let's package this alley skull. Paint it, that is. So far, so good. Man, let's cross our fingers. It'd be so cool if we got this printer actually working. Got some nice talons here. Here we've got a Freddie Mercury and a classic Einstein and a little otter. And we've got that otter boy, such a good boy. Very nice gator. Talons looking sharp, no pun intended. Very nice Freddie. And of course an Einstein. We're making the tacos. All right, we're actually making sopes. Nice and crispy. There we go. Beautiful. And perhaps, best of all, quite inexpensive. Super good. Whew, I love me a good sope. I used to work with a guy at Burger King back in the day who pointed out that avocado makes everything taste better. Ever since he said that, I have found that to be true. Join the Discord. Link below. Dash render, your description of the bed heater has me imagining it as an M3 branded scented candle. The fragrance notes being 90s Discovery Zone engulfed in flames, a South Carolina firehouse, smoke inhalation, a hospital ward circa 75, chemicals, and a hint of immolated Honda Civic. Ah yes, the classic notes of a Pinot Noir. There's gotta be a candle maker in the Gratitude Gang somewhere. Let's talk. Oh yeah, he says, finally, congratulations on the M3 pageant win. Yes, it was my pageant. I like to think it was me on that stage. Although that would be a little weird. Wayne, wow, Mark, congratulations on that accomplishment. As for the hat, she probably didn't have time to do her hair afterwards. I actually meant to say that. It was, you know, we had the whole hard hat thing in there. I think I even mentioned, I made that instructional video for her. I may have mentioned something like that. I don't know. Movies, big stage, rock stars, and Chuck. Super happy for you. Thanks, man. You're the best, Wayne. Dudorius. New product from a freak failure. Melty D20. I think it could sell. It probably could, but I would hate to manufacture it. Wolfman Crab Arms. It's super concerning those bed heaters don't have thermal runaway protection. See, I kind of just assumed they did, because, like, it would be crazy not to. I don't know. I guess we answered that question. Do they have the option? I've actually seen this issue, but normally alongside a picture of a burned down house, apartment, or shed. Yep. Well, that's why we're doing the temperature outlet controller thing. I mean, I think it'll work. That was just a crazy thing, man. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a long time. M. Hussey rocks. Congratulations on your contributions to the success. You should give some credit to your modeling skills too. Regarding the heat bed, I feel the heat bed was good. It was the electronics that failed. A fine distinction. A better control would have worked with the same bed. That thing went to 200 degrees and stayed alive. It basically stayed alive. Like I said, it produced quite the aroma. Just a typical OG. If possible, you should see if you can put together some small snippets of the pageant for a product video on the Big Coffee. You might need to ask for permission, but I think it'd be 100% worth it. I would probably not ask for permission. They are not the kind of... You learn these things. There are certain corporations that are big enough that they're going to come chase you down. They're looking at every listing. They're just hiring people to go through stuff on Etsy. And then there's the Mrs. American pageant. The sauce rocks. Wow, she won. Man, that was amazing. M3 is coffee. Very proud of you. Congrats. Many of you were very congratulatory, and I want to thank all of y'all. Dr. Fiasco. I'm surprised there's no thermal runaway protection on those aftermarket bed heaters. Look into borosilicate, I can never say that, for the next piece of glass. It's rated for like 400 degrees Celsius. Also, Discovery Place in Charlotte back in the 80s was my happy place. When I lived in Charlotte, I never went there, but I went by there a lot. It is not like Discovery Zone, but it is a place for kids. Keep it real and toasty. That might be a new one. Congratulations, dude. It's an awesome feeling. Thanks, man. Sandingo. Here we have Cali sober. When you're not drinking, but you're still smoking the green. I think I've actually heard of that before. They don't call that sober. They call that sublime. Junior 303. I'm not sure what the next episode will be, but I'm afraid. Truer words were never spoken. Oh man, what am I grateful for today? I'm grateful that all the printers seem to be doing an admirable job. All I really want in life is just for my printers to print. It was fun seeing Jerry the Taco Man at the Mexican supermarket. It's a small world, lots to be grateful for. Let me know what in the comments you are grateful for. It's good to carry gratitude into the undiscovered places of our lives and shine the light of gratitude on that which is hidden. Let me know in the comments what you are grateful for. As always, we drop the goodness every single day. You guys are the Gratitude Gang and are the best. I will catch you on the subsequent episode. Peace out.
Stay around you. I can't say what I need. This blinding arm of lessons I'm seeing to standing in a moment. What has been is cast aside, frozen there as time rode. I know that you must have died. sunlight. Lions around you, open up your light, time to say a Wiedersehen.